Hey everyone, and welcome to this onboarding here. So one thing I would recommend you all is to go to salestools.io/templates, and what you simply can do is you can install this template by one click. So I'm going to install this template right now on my account here at Salestools, so I don't have to build this giant template, and it sits right here, 28 actually steps. So basically what this one does is pre-designed for me. All I have to do is to go in and change the templates, install the templates too. We do recommend you change them because they are made just to illustrate here how you get started. We will in future updates make like better templates, but the problem is you will always have to personalize them. Otherwise it wouldn't make sense to your business. So remember that. Now, as an example, I'm interested in finding people that are, for example, VP of Growth. My only problem is a lot of people during the time that I'm making this video because of COVID might have lost their job. So typically what people do is go add all the filters. What I recommend is actually to say, okay, who has been active the last 30 days on LinkedIn? Add my filters, and then I get more highly target leads here. So I'm going to take this URL and I'm going to go back to Salestools, to the flow I just set up. I'm going to insert the URL right here. I'm going to say I want to contact 200 people. I'm going to tag them so I can find them later. So I'm going to call them Jesper tag. And then I'm going to hit save. Now what we decided to do here is we added, and you will see here how to do that. I'll show you all functions, then we walk through everything else after, okay? So you can have different functions. There could be, these two are like starting points, and you'll find them right here. So typically you start with these. You can start building a LinkedIn search URL. Remember to put in number of profiles to download, otherwise this button will not activate, and that goes across all these. The typical starting points: search link from Sales Navigator, saved list from Sales Navigator, LinkedIn regular search, LinkedIn group extractor. Those are like very typical starting points when you want to extract data. So recommend to start out with those. Now, if you go back to the section we did here, you'll also find follow-up things you can do. There could be prospect on LinkedIn. So if you have a list of people, you can also use that as a starting point, actually, if you don't want to go to LinkedIn. But now that you can search the URL, it makes more sense, and it typically goes together with technology or a visitor on a website. If you do download from Sales Navigator, it's always a good idea to say you want to find the Sales Navigator link. Because the profile link is different in Sales Navigator. For example, if I copy the link right here, you'll see it's very different, and it typically expires after time and other people cannot open it. It's tied to your account. So that's typically a workflow to add in, so you'll find that during the workflow. Now the next step is we then said we want to verify and find the email. If the email was verified, then we move to the right, because we do not want to send emails that potentially can bounce. And there's a few reasons to that. One is Google and Microsoft is so good at checking for bounce today. So if you have similar emails coming from your mail address, they hash you. So they create like a hash key. And when there's a match and that's hash key too many times, they say, hey, it's in the spam folder. And to avoid that, they look at reply rate, they look at open rate, and bounce rate. So if you can fix at least the bounce rate here by creating better content and focus on the right people. You can also fix the open rate with better subjects, and the reply rate if you resonate to them and you actually have a good offering. So those are very important to keep in mind. So what we do is here we then start the LinkedIn request, and we go in and we have the variables sitting right here. So we already set very simple, and this one you can use very simple. Hey Jack, I noticed you done great work at Dell, and I want to reach out to you and connect up. Very simple. We also added a delay, and you have them right here. And the delay we said 1 hour after, because when you get the connection request right now, mentally they go like, oh, we know Jasper. So when I get the email, which we installed to you right here, and you select what mailbox to send from. If you have multiple mailboxes, you can send from multiple people. Really cool features. You can mix with your colleagues in a flow in reality. So we send out the email, we put a delay, we wait for 3 days, then send the LinkedIn message, and so on and so forth. Now, one thing that is important in the end, always put the LinkedIn withdrawal requester, because then we withdraw the request and you don't have too many pending requests. But this is one example. Now, every time you build a flow, remember to save it, and when you're done, hit play, then it starts. That's it. When you hit start, it takes about 15 minutes for it to execute. You start executing, so have some patience. The reason why we do it is we're running on a safe environment. We deploy a server around your IP address, and that happens in that moment, and then it kills the server after. So it's really just like you run a process for your automation the moment you execute it. And when the next step is called to be done at our end, then a new server is running a new execution for you, and so on and so forth. So it's very streamlined and scalable for every party here. Now, you started the flow, it's running. You can build as many flows as you have in your subscription. Now, you see it's typically a process or complete or created. Process means running. You have, for the ones that have the tech tracker integration, it says event triggered. That means that somebody added a technology. You can see it right here. So basically, this is what we did for testing it going live today. So when you see this video, it will already be live. So when somebody added a technology, and you can put in the name. So you can put in every time somebody added HubSpot, as an example. Then we tell the system to go to LinkedIn, and we say we're looking for 10 developers. We give them a test. You put in a delay, and then we put in the whole features of what we want to do. So every time somebody tech tracker report them to install HubSpot, they enter this queue automatically, and then we start sending out emails. It's super cool. So that's another way you can build an automation. Now, if you start another new automation and you have the visitor tracking setup done, so if you put this tracking script on your website, then basically what you then can go ahead and do is, after you install that script, and there will come another video how to work with that, you can set an automation visit the website. So if I know the visitor, and this is gotta be the exact URL, by the way. So if we go to salestools.io/pricing and just copy the real URL, then I will go ahead and say every time somebody visits this URL, I want to go and prospect on LinkedIn. So I want to find the VP of marketing and CMO, and I want to download just 2, and I go visits, so I can find them later under my contacts. Now, if that happened, then I can say, okay, every time that happened and find someone, I'm gonna say I want to send a connection request, and I'm gonna say, hey, first thing, love to see just start using HubSpot, whatever you want to say. Then build this request, then we say, okay, we also run an email verification. If the email is verified, we send a bunch of emails connected with different LinkedIn messages. If not, then we focus just on LinkedIn. And then we hit save and start. And this will run every time somebody visits on your website. So it's going to be one of these triggered events. But there's so many types of automation you can build. You can also just build simple one, copy the URL of someone, say 2,000 profiles, hit start, just download them, and then you have the list, and you show up under my contacts. So this is automation. Always remember to update your session cookie. Here you will always be able to see a list of your automations, where you can then stop or copy them or delete them. So you can always clone something that works and just change it a little bit by simply hit copy. So that's also a very important feature. And under automations, you can see full list, new automations, or find your email templates here. So that's automations, and we will add new automations over the next weeks. So stay tuned with this page. You'll see that there will come more functions you can start with. Thank you.